Good evening, everybody. This is the Collector, and welcome to the Collector Paint and Chill. Today, we're going to be painting some more of this commission. These are the first Frucious Lancers RCT commission that I'm doing for a client. We've gotten all the green done and all the wash and highlights that I want to work up to at this point. Next, we're going to work on these lines. The RCT had red, white, and blue lines, either horizontal or lengthwise. The client wanted them to be all on the left side, and so that's what we're going to do. Now, a question that a lot of people ask is, how do you do lines on a miniature this small? Sometimes it's easier to just mask the model, put some masking tape on the model, and use an airbrush. I could have done that. I just like using a standard brush. It's more fun for me, and it's good hand-eye coordination practice as well. So, as you can see, I've got a pretty decent line on here. It's not airbrush perfect, but whenever you look at pictures of old World War II tanks or even modern day main battle tanks that have hand-painted camouflage or markings of any kind, a lot of that is done by hand. Of course, you have shops that'll have the big airbrush, industrial airbrushes that they'll use for camouflage and all that. But in regards to our miniature painting hobby, part of the fun is taking out a brush and putting paint on a model. So that's the philosophy we're going with today. No scripts, no real plan, just working on some miniatures and relaxing. All right, let's see here. We live on YouTube? Yes, we are. Right. All right, so we'll just get started. I've got a couple brushes I'm going to be relying on for these lines. So if things start getting a little too difficult with the synthetic, I've got the Raphael 8404 Kalinsky size 1. It's a lot easier to control. I try not to use them if I don't have to, unless I'm doing really tiny details like eyeballs on a miniature or jeweling effects. For these lines, you can get pretty sharp lines even with a synthetic. Here I'm using a Master's Touch script liner. And for the paint, I'll be using AK 3rd Gen White. It's their intense color set, so I'm guessing it just has a lot more pigment. Ooh, 1 second. Praise be to Blake and the founder. All right, well, sorry for that little interruption. Had somebody at the door. But we're good to go. Anywho, back to painting lines. I've got the, again, the AK 3rd Gen White Intense. It's going to help with covering over the green, the OD green color, a lot better than just a standard pigmented white paint. As you guys know, whites over darks don't really cover that well, but these, just a couple layers, thin layers, and you get a nice little lines, man. Look at that. No masking tape, no airbrush. All right. I already started on this one, so we'll keep it going. And again, you can use an airbrush. It's there's no problem with that. You can mask and tape the tank. Leave a little section that you want the white line on, and that's going to give you a nice sharp line with very minimal effort. So what I'm doing is I'm thickening this line a little bit. You want to take nice, easy breaths when you're doing this, because taking quick, shallow breaths is going to make your hand move around a little bit. You don't want to do that. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Thickening up that line, as you can see. Oh, now it wants to do this. Come on now. You're working all day. There you go. So I'm going to continue thickening this line. The reason is because we're going to go over a third of the white line with some red and the other third on the opposite end with some blue. And that's going to give us our first Crucius Lancers RCT red, white, and blue stripes. But you want to have that white base coat underneath the red and the blue so that the red and blue stand out a little bit more. And remember, you want to be painting these in very, very thin layers because you don't want to just cake on this stuff, especially if you're using a standard brush. And remember, you don't have to rush. You can take all the time you need here. I like that line right there. That's a good one. Looking good. Let's see. Let's look at this one here. Got a little bit of a waviness to it. I think I'm going to try to straighten it out as I'm thickening this line as well. Can't forget the fourth tank I got over there either. Another thing of note here, when I first started learning how to paint and doing lines and fine details, there's this common misconception that people have when they're starting out painting, that they think they need to buy the tiniest bristle brush, the size 000 Kolinsky Sable $100 brush just to get perfect lines. And the truth is the smaller the bristles, the harder it really is to get like a detailed lines like this without messing up that bristle and that brush. And you can get, here's the thing, you can get very sharp details with something like a size 4, or most brushes have different sizes, but like here's my fat pinky, something the size of the third front segment of your pinky, which is pretty big. It's not one of those tiny brushes. You can get very, very tiny details because the paint comes out of the tip, not the fatness of the brush, or the bristles. So you got your little tip, and you got your little body where the paint sits in. And the bonus of a longer, fatter brush is paint doesn't get into the ferrule as easily as it would if your brush was a tiny, tiny little mini bristle brush. Something like this thing, These brushes do have their uses, but for today's purposes, I can use this synthetic size 4 brush, and it'll serve me just fine. Alright, let's get this fourth tank over here. These are the Myrmidon tanks. Start by getting a nice starting line first. Push these guys to the back a little bit. All right. Let's get some paint. Tip of this thing. Wipe it off carefully. All right, here we go again. So let me just see if I can bring the camera down a little bit more. I want it to knock over while I'm painting. All right, here we go. I'm working in segments, so I'm not just going all the way down in one motion. You can, if you have the steady hand and perfect control, but my hand shakes, so I've got to be very careful when I do this. I'll see your post or your comment there. It looks like it glitched out. Oh, hey, there you go. How's it going, John? Camera looking a lot better this time. A compared to last time? Yeah. Oh, good. Glad to hear it. Sweet. Can't forget the backside. Focus, you. Focus. Come on, camera. Don't fail me now. Yep, that's what we're doing. Freehanding some Fed Sun red, white, and blue stripes for the first Crucius Lancers commission. First Crucius Lancers RCT. So eventually we'll put some red, white, and blue on here, or red and blue on top of the white. And this is 4 tanks. I've got, oh man, 4 more, 8 more. I got 12 more after these 4. So. Paint for the paint gods. Alright, I'm going to let that dry. Give my hands a little bit of a break. This is an exercise for these wrists, man. Ooh. Oh yeah, so, I mean, I mentioned it earlier. I have masking tape and I have the airbrush, but you see, that's no fun. Where's the fun in that? You do it, and then there's a line, and then come on. Well, and the thing is if I was doing like a line that was a quarter the size of the tank, so maybe a little bit more, so something that goes from maybe the entire track all the way to that edge, or if I'm doing like a third where I'm dividing into thirds and I'm doing like a third of this whole thing white, then yeah, I probably would have used the masking tape. But because I'm doing very, very thin lines, even if I had masked this and did the white lines, I would have still had to come back with a brush and brushed the red and blue lines. So even at masochist, why are we here just as us? No, not a masochist. I'm a hobbyist. There's a difference. There's a difference, sir. But no. Today it's gonna be a little bit different. See, I'm gonna enjoy some delicious Tendoori and some Dr. Pepper while I paint. So I encourage you, grab a snack, grab a drink, enjoy, relax, paint. Paint and grow fat. I'm gonna give my hands a little bit of a couple minutes to ease up, and then we'll start with the red and blue lines. Or I can just grab the other units and do the white lines. What do you think? What should I do? I think we can, we'll start doing some of those red and blue lines. It's not from a porn. No, this soundtrack is from the mecha anime RCT Lasner. Is it RCT? Something like that. It's like a weird Cold War era mecha anime, like most of them are. There's a there's a Russian and American colony on Mars, and they nuke each other to hell. And then this alien race comes in with a bunch of like mechs, and they intend on this like invasion of Earth, and Mars becomes their staging area. It's an interesting anime. A little different. Music's really good though. I like the porn style music. That would be no different composer, not the same composer. It wasn't done by Yoko Kanno. Forget the name. Red blue lines or more white lines? Well, I already got the white paint out. I don't want to have to. Screw it. Changing my mind again. I'll just do more white lines. And we're gonna do these ontoses. Sir Mortimer Bombito 3D STL ontoses. Might have to make the white lines a little thicker too, just to fit. I'm gonna get my little handles, little old school handles, and use a little bit of sticky tack. You get a little sticky tack and use an old paint pot that doesn't have anything in it anymore. These are perfect. They're not like the GW mini holders, but they work. You just put a mini on and you press down a little bit, and then boom. You know, he's not really going to go anywhere. So here, let's move this up a little bit. They're a little too close. They're a little too close. No, it's SPT. SPT Lasner is the name of the anime. Oh, I did a review of the Lasner mech figure on my channel. So if you want like a small introductory to that universe, I go over it. Porks, yeah, I don't have any of that stuff. All right, where do I want to start the line? Let's just do it right in the middle. Screw it. Now this one is going to get thicker, so any inconsistency or issue with where the white line is, if you're doing something like this, but you intend to make a thicker line, don't trouble yourself too much if you go over, because you can just continue on and thicken as you go. And then if you really mess up, you can just go over it with some more of that OD green or the yellow green or the dark, the black forest green. Yep. Field paint work, you know, because that stuff always gets chipped and dirty. You always get the lowest ranking guy. Hey, get the paint bucket from the back. Start working. See, in the Navy, you had to go to hazmat. The hazmat department, and then you had to fill out a paperwork, and then you had to present your qual that you know how to paint, and then you had to show it's like a little mini license, right? You know, like, I know how to paint. And then they give you the rundown of like what to do, what not to do. It's like, yeah, I know how to paint. And you get your MRC, your maintenance readiness card, and it tells you line by line, you know, open the paint bucket, check. Stir paint with mixing stick, check. And so on and so forth. See, that line's looking okay. Yeah, make sure you're wearing your safety belt when you're painting. Yeah, you don't want to fall and break your neck while you're painting. Whenever whenever you had to do something that is higher than 6 feet in elevation, you had to get it. Something called an aloft chit. Or the chit. The C-H-I-T. Chit. Not the other word. And you gotta get permission to go aloft. And then it's like every... the guy that's on the 1MC, so the guy that does all the announcements and stuff on watch that day, he has to remind everybody that there's somebody working aloft, like every 15 or 30 minutes or something like that. Aloft, there are personnel working aloft on board the USS blah blah blah. Do not rotate or radiate any electrical equipment, radiological equipment while personnel working aloft. Then you have the divers that go down and have to like fix the frickin' sonar system parts or do maintenance, because that's no fun. Yep, yeah, we had it's called the 1MC. The main ship's intercom. When you're petty officer of the watch qualified or officer of the deck qualified, you'd have to pass a test, and then they'd give you a practical, and you have to know how to call those announcements, like fire or a flooding or something, or like if there's a terrorist attack or something, like you have to know how many bells and how many whistles or whatever, and what does what. So a little more intense than your school announcements. He's talking about his Navy crap again. God. I'm sick of it. I'm so tired of it. Stuff stays with you, man. Oh, man. Alright, gotta give my shoulder a little rest. Formation, yeah, we had a muster like 4 times a day. So you'd muster with the ship, and the CO would put out the daily schedule or whatever, like the daily crap, and any like minor awards that are being given to whoever for attaboys. I was lucky. I think I was lucky because I had a really good set of COs pretty much throughout my entire career. I never really had issues with COs. Yeah, 4 times. Yeah, we had to muster 4 times. We had to muster on formation about 4 times on the regular. So you had your ship's muster, which was just your, hey, you're there, you didn't show up late. Then you would have your division or department, you have your division department muster with your the guys you actually work with, your MOS people, not the whole ship, because the whole ship is all the different departments and divisions. Then you'd have your divisionary muster, which involved your department. I don't know why they didn't just combine those two words or just use one word to describe the same damn thing. Then they would put out your specific daily tasks and assignments. Okay, yeah. So, because your MOS was specific, so you just mustered with your MOS guys. Then probably in the afternoon you would muster everybody that had like after lunch muster, hey, this is shit that came up that we got to do now. And then if you have duty or whatever, in the Navy they call it duty, where you have to stay on the ship all day, like 24 hour, and you stand your watches. And each department split into different sections, so that way there's always someone of your MOS out 24 hours available that day, in case there's like something that breaks or somebody that needs to call for a replacement part because some idiot broke it, or you know what I mean. And then the evening muster is for the people that were usually for people who are on duty. And that's the, hey, good job, don't stay up all night, don't stay up playing video games and watching what, and see you in the morning. So. Balloon? Alan? What's that? What balloon? What balloon are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, John. This one's going a lot smoother. Oop. I spoke too soon. You know the difference between a rate and an MOS? Like in the Navy, we don't say MOS, we say rating or rate. delicious, delicious Tendoori. That's why I brought up the Navy. I'm having some Tendoori, chicken Tendoori, and it reminds me of whenever we hit Bahrain or Abu Dhabi or any of those like Middle Eastern places. There would always be the little Indian boy, little Indian dude. Indian boy, bring me that Tendoori. They always had a little truck, a little food truck that brought that curry chicken and curry lamb and stuff. Man, that stuff was so good. Hi, little girl. You watching me?
Yeah.
You watching me paint? Yeah. Cool.
Right here. Yeah.
Yep. Oh boy. I think I went a little too crazy there. Oh man, yeah, no, too much. Abort. Yeah. I got a little distracted. Mm. You distracted me, little one. It's okay. Did you want some? No? Okay. 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 How many favors? Oh, you didn't have to do any favors. Just they would be waiting outside of the pier. And you just go out there, pay them cash, and they'd make you some food, and you didn't have to eat the crap that the galley was making. Especially whenever you hit port. Like when you're underway and the ship's out in the middle of the ocean, you know, all the cooks are there. You know, the food's decent. But whenever you would hit port, because everybody's in a different section, you probably have like one or two cooks at that. And they you know, you're promised 3 square meals a day, but the 3 square meals, when there's only 2 cooks and one of them is on watch because he's got to stand guard and the other guy's the only guy in the kitchen, is here's some shit, here's some oatmeal, eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oh, you want something else? Make it yourself. Damn. But see, that's why pissing off your division and making them send you to the cooks as punishment is a good thing, because then you're friends with all the cooks. So, you know, oh yeah, go ahead, man. Grab whatever you want. Go in the deep freezer, grab a fucking steak, make yourself a steak. Fuck them. Yeah, evening mess. Evening mess, if you're not friends with the cooks, is slop and whatever the hell's left over. Evening mess for me was steaks, sometimes shrimp, sometimes lobster, you know, whatever I could get my hands on. I'm telling you, don't make the cooks angry. Don't talk shit about them. You know, they always say, oh, the lowest IQ people. It's like, hey man, don't piss off the cooks. Alright? No matter how smart you are, you're going to be eating shit. You're not going to be eating very good if you talk shit about the cooks. Oh, my little guest that was talking to me. Yeah, it was my daughter. She was saying hi. So this is now the listen to collector rant and snack and paint stream. Yeah, buddy. All right. So we have a learning opportunity here. So you see what I did? I fucked up that line. It's way too thick. All right, on a couple sides. So what we'll do is we'll go over where we want the white line. BPJ, what's that? Spell it out. I don't understand your marine lingo. You're laughing, but I'm not tracking here, man. You're gonna have to help me track. Negative. I do not read you, Lima Charlie. Say again. I say. I repeat, say again. I did not copy your last. Whenever somebody fucks up on the 1MC. Belay my last. You never say that. If you ever say that, you get fired right there on the spot. Oh, so you're qualified to use the 1MC and you fucked up and you thought belay my last was the smart thing to say? Just told everybody you don't know what you're doing. You're fired. You got a requal. Guess who's got to take that test again? You. Good job. Shipwreck. Oh, in the movie Waiting? Yeah. Oh, God, no. The goat. The goat. Here's some of that Pro Krill yellow green. And we're going to use that to clean up this line. Hey. And then here I go messing this line up, and then I have to go back with it with some of the white. Watch. There we go. A little bit crooked, but it's not too bad. Army. Oh, peanut butter and jelly. Yeah, I mean, when there's peanut butter and jelly there for you to use. You know how many people steal or stole the peanut butter and the jelly? Like, well, not the jelly. People steal the peanut butter. You know why they steal the peanut butter? Because there's always those guys that they have to go to the gym like 8 times a day. And they run out of their protein thing. So what do? Oh, you know, there's protein in peanut butter. So here you are trying to get, coming off watch at like the mid watch. So you're coming off at midnight. You didn't eat dinner because you had to be on watch while it was dinner time. And some biggie swole guy, ate all the damn peanut butter. So what do you got? You got the jelly. Just jelly. Just bread and jelly. If there's bread. And 9 times out of 10, no bread. Or the bread is fucking rotten or stale. Yeah. Yeah. When I was in Kampuka, the army base, their dining facility was actually really cool. They had all kinds of food over there. I'm talking everything. Like we didn't have time to eat, but the food they had was phenomenal. Maybe it was the whole war in Iraq thing and all the tax dollars just being thrown at everybody. So, but I mean, they had like fried chicken, they had macaroni and cheese fried chicken, they had sausages, they had burgers every day. Every single day, there was always like piles and piles of this stuff. And it was hot, ready to eat, right there. You grab whatever the hell you wanted. It wasn't like you get a little spoonful. No, they like self-serve. Here you go. Here's the tongs. Grab what you want. I think this thing is finally dry, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, I think we're good. All right. So, not as clean or pretty as the other one was, but not too bad. Look at that. Look at that. See? It's serviceable. And what the yellow-green did for the edges of the white line is it kind of gave it almost like a highlight. So see? Not a problem. All right. Let's see, what do we want to do stripes on now? Let's do the Chevaliers. They look like they need some lines. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the turrets. Everything's magnetized, so easy peasy. Oh, tonight. There we go. There we go. Oh. These things getting stuck pretty good in there. All right. Shorts out. We're going to do the same thing. So, white lines on the left side of the tank. So it's left side, our right side, but it's left side. Yeah, I mean, again, when you were over there, you didn't really have time. I mean, we were on 12 on 12 off rotation, but then there was like training, so you'd rush to get out there. You'd have to run to the damn dining facility, get as much food as you can. You could take a little hot plate with you, get on the truck, and then make your way to the compound, eating while you're in the truck. So Wonder if you can hear all that. All this ASMR eating. Oh, damn. I'm getting Tendoori sauce all over this thing. Whoops. Oopsie. I don't think client's going to be happy about that. You bastard. You bastard. Why are you doing that? Why are you so nasty? Yeah, I didn't quite eat anything today. So, just a little hungry. All right. Here we go. Chevalier number 1. Like this segment, so we're gonna make the line, start the line here, and I'm gonna go about halfway between this part of the segment and that part of the segment, and that'll be my white line. Yeah, I like that. Surround. Yeah, that was good. That was a good one. That was a good line. Looks a little offset on camera, but it looks straight in my eyes. Man, what's going on? Optical illusions. Ran out of little holders that I can use. But that's fine. Into that line. We're not just putting the line on the top face, we're putting it anywhere that isn't like a moving part, like a wheel or whatever. But we're not going to go all the way underneath either, because that's not going to be visible anyway. Unless you're not basing the things. So some people like to run vehicles without bases, but this one is going to be on a base. So we're not worried about painting the bottom too much. So when painting lines, you want to get a nice firm grasp on the model, or as firm as possible, and you want to just barely flick your whatever fingers you're using to brace the brush, and you just want to very gently top down motion, and you want to orient your model in the direction that the brush is going to go top down from, and that's what's going to give you that really good sharp line, or as sharp as possible. I'm gonna have to rename this video the Tendoori edition because of all the tandoori chicken sauce in the fingers and Tendoori eating breaks. Yes. The Tendoori edition. Chicken tikka masala. All up in your fingers. So good. What's those TikToks? The ones where they like emote. They have to like say the emote or the emoji. The ice cream so good. Ice cream so good. You know what I'm talking about, John? You know what I'm talking about. Come on, John. No, there's this one. It's Lizzie Overdrive. It's the guy that does the hot dog. He gets the hot dog emoji, and he fucking, it's like he's sucking it, you know. Thank you for the 1,000 glizzies. Time for Glizzy Overdrive. He has like a whole shtick, and he has like a song that he plays, like epic music starts fucking playing. Oh man. I'd be too embarrassed to do that. So much. And they pay these people, man. People like donate money for those little things. We're gonna do the same exact lines on all these other Chevaliers. Oh, I did not wick enough of the paint off on this one. It's a little too thick. Ugh. Okay. Just a little bit. Not completely out of control yet. And like I said earlier, I'm not worried if it's too thick, because we're gonna, not only can we clean it up with the yellow-green, but we're also gonna clean it up whenever we do our red and blue lines, because they're gonna cover up the outer sides of the white line. No? Are you reacting to the emoji comment? Yes. Ice cream so good. That was a weird phenomenon, dude. Like, when I heard about that, I didn't believe it. I was like, no way, this is real. But it is. It is real. Today in America. See, and they say you need a Kalinsky sable to do like tiny details. Come on. But Collector, you're not using your sable. Why don't you use it and prove it? No, my problem is I have shaky hands, so it's gonna look like crap whether I use my sable brush or this damn synthetic. No, it doesn't look bad. I'm happy with it right now. So far, so good. Painting so good. Painting so good. Painting so good. Are you laughing at me over there? Oh my goodness. Serena. You good? Good. Yum 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 yum. No, no. Okay. No, no, no tickle. No tickle. No. You gotta go to bed. You gotta go to bed soon, okay? Love you. Oh shit! I might have to blot out what I said. Never mind. Nope. Not gonna say it. Emojis? Yeah, man. Yeah. Aren't emojis just modern day hieroglyphics? Isn't that what it is? See, now we ran into another issue here. Not a issue of overshooting the paint, but I over thinned it, or maybe I had too much water on the brush. But you'll see here once it focuses, which it should. There we go. Here, I'm gonna do a little trick here now that I got this other app. While I've got it focused, let me. Where is it? Ah! Zoom function, baby. Yeah. Alright, so right there's a little bit in the panel that I didn't want because of how thin it was. So you want the paint thin, alright? But you don't want it so thin that it's gonna frickin' get into the little crevices. But that's an easy fix. Everything's an easy fix here. Oh, look how hideous that line is when he zooms in. I bet they all look like that, don't they? Not really. Hell, I might just use this to help me paint, man. Look at that. And again, right there it's happening too, but see, that's like a little rear vent. And when I put a black wash in there, it'll wash that out. So you won't have white, like a white wash inside the where the black wash will go. Yeah. Hey, the camera's not all blurry anymore. Look at that. Isn't that great? Okay, let's zoom out. See, now this is like table high. Bled. It bled. It's bleeding. Put a tourniquet on it. Little Tendoori break. Right. I'm gonna try this. Use this sable brush now. See if I can get a little bit better performance. Speed things up a little bit. Well, as long as it looks like that, I guess I'm good, huh? Isn't it? That's kind of the trick when you're in the military too. As long as you look like you know what you're doing, people trust you. So you could know all your shit, pass all your tests, but if you still look like you don't know what you're doing, they're gonna call you an idiot and be like, "Hey, why do you look dumb? You don't look like you know what you're doing." The whole fake it till you make it. Yeah, fake it till you make it. They hate us because they ain't us.
What? Did they eat us?
No, they're not gonna eat us. I didn't say eat us. Little Miss Collector coming in here. Why is she bullying me? Little Mrs. Collector. Little Miss Collector. Why are you more messed up than a soup sandwich? Hobbit Pile, I'll give you to the count of 10. You're gonna hand me that rifle. I think I need more paint. I'm already out. That little section in my paint palette is dry. So let's go back here. Some more of this AK Intense White. Yeah. And then we're going to get a little bit of distilled water. Just a little bit. Just a little drop. thin it down just a little bit. All right. I have a little paint mixing brush in here too. Something that's a little worse for wear, but still good for stirring paint. All right, back to the sable brush. This one's been giving me problems. You ever played Hell's Gate? It's like a World War II RTS/FPS game. A buddy of mine introduced me to it. It's actually really good. Yeah, it's really good. Like the game mechanics are very simulator-ish. There's like destructible environments. The tanks have like a crew. The armor on the tanks and stuff has like varying degrees of armor protection and penetration. And then you could get like it's like almost as detailed as how they do like War Thunder, where when the round goes through a certain spot, it might like detonate the gas, or the ammo in the ammo bins, and cook them off, or like a round will go through and kill like the crew member that was sitting right there where the round hit. So it's very gritty, but it's in RTS with FPS elements, so you can take control of the tank and drive it like War Thunder style, or you can go to third person and then, or not third person, go to RTS mode and go into just telling it where to go, and the AI crew will do what you need it to do. And then if like a track gets blown, you have to like repair the track. Yeah, it's really good. My buddy was showing it to me, and we did some co-op PvE, and yeah, no, it was actually really fun. I had more fun just taking control of like individual soldiers and having them do crazy shit than I did playing as the tanks. All right, well, we got the white lines on the Chevaliers done. Let's backtrack here. I want to thicken up the white line on this Ontos because he got a little bit distracted. I kind of went crazy with it. But let's go ahead and try to thicken this line up just a little bit. Yeah, that'll work for now. That'll work for now. All right, so I'm gonna readjust here. I'm gonna remove the myrmidons and ontoses off of their holders, and I'm going to bring in our last couple units to do the white lines. I might not get through all of them here on the stream since it's already kind of getting late, but maybe I'll do 2 more and then call it a night. Not as long as the other streams were, but not too short either. I might cut these down to like an hour or 2, or an hour and a half at most. Sweet. Which cyberpunk miniatures are you painting? Okay. I'll check them out. And even without the little red and blue striping, just that white stripe on the green looks really cool. Poppin'. They are poppin'. You sent it to me yet? The picture? Or are you still taking a picture of them? I will be patient. My apologies. Oh, nice. Those minis are cool, man. Do you play the Cyberpunk tabletop RPG? Or do you just like collect? Nice. Yeah, I never played it. I never played the tabletop. I've always had issues with getting into character and just really getting into it with D&D style RPG games. Like even the MechWarrior RPG, I had a hard time like feeling it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, like I've never really played those kinds of games growing up as a kid, so I don't have the nostalgia for it. And then like I remember as a kid like playing in like make-believe worlds and stuff, like you know, like when you're a kid and you pretend you're a Godzilla or something, you know, or you pretend you're I don't know, like when you watched Saving Private Ryan, you pretended that you were one of the Marines on the shore and or like fighting, you know. You'd buy the toy gun and the fake army helmet or whatever, the plastic one that you get from like a Toys R Us, and then you'd pretend that you're in World War II, fighting the Nazis. And then you had that one friend that always played he always wanted to be the Nazi. So, you know. Yeah. No, I get it. And I mean, it's like, the thing is I get it. And I can't get, it's like I can't. It's like trying to put on a pair of shoes. Yeah, the guy that wants to play, he wants to be the Nazi all the time in the game, in the make-believe play. Like, he wants to be the Nazi. Like, no, I don't want to be the American, I want to be the Nazi. It's more fun to be the bad guy. No. Yeah, I don't know if it's like I didn't care. Like, it wasn't like I felt ashamed or I felt weird or anything, because I did play. So I had a buddy, and he ran D&D and other stuff, and I wanted to play Lancer mech RPG, and he ran a Lancer mech RPG thing at my house, and this was when I was still in the Navy and everything too. So I mean, like, we were all nerds. Like, nobody was being judgmental, but even so, like, I just had a really hard time getting into it. And like, he was really into it. And then he played, like, he was playing like the role of like a couple people. Like, he was playing the role of like one of the female characters. And so then things started getting a little weird. And I really couldn't get into it. Well, and it was, one of the reasons was because he started screaming at the top of his lungs at like 10 o'clock at night in character. And I was like, dude, kids are asleep. Wife is asleep. You need to stop. Don't be so loud. And like, I get it, like, we were getting all into it, but yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's maybe I just grew out of it. But I mean, I don't. It sucks. I hate saying that, because I'm not. There's still stuff that I do that's, stuff that I did as a kid. Like, I still play video games. I still, when I get a new like a high metal, Bandai figure from like the Fang of the Sun Dogram or whatever, like the freaking, like the Dugram mech or the Soltic round facer, or if I get like a, one of those Bandai diecast like Veritech fighters from Macross, like, I'll play with it, like, I'll whoosh it around and like, transform it, and I'll fucking, like, I'm not LARPing it. I'm just playing with it. You know what I mean? And so, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Like I said, like, I don't have any problem with people that do that or that play like that still. I think you're right, though. I think it's the trust aspect. I think somewhere. Yeah, again, like, I don't think age, that the age thing, it doesn't matter if you're having fun, like, But for me, it's like an internal thing. Like it's like anytime I've ever been in situations where I wanted to LARP, like I wanted to play make-believe as an adult, it's always either with people that end up taking it too far, or it becomes a little too weird, or where I start having problems with distinguishing like the real person and the LARP. Because people who LARP, they, it's the same as like people who play shooter games, like you're not gonna go out there and mow down a bunch of people, fucking 360 no scope, akimbo fucking Uzis, you're playing a game where you're doing that because it's entertainment, and it comes from some internal, I guess, desire to feel powerful or something. I don't know, like some just it's just fun. That's what's fun for you, So people who play D&D and they play RPG games, they're playing because that's what they find fun, and that's what it is. It's fine. But for me, it was like every time I tried to do that, it always ended up where either I couldn't get into it easily, and everybody else was getting into it, and I just felt like I was getting left behind, or I felt like I was just the boring guy that was just waiting for things to happen, or I was the guy that was too into it. I was way too into it. I was way into my character, and everybody was looking at me like, "Dude, calm down, chill, bro." Like I don't have a middle gear. Like I'm either low gear or all the way high gear. Like I don't do in the middle. Like I did the okay, element of the hobby like that. Yeah. Well, not just like D&D players, but like different kinds of like RPG type players. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like if I'm gonna get into something, I'm gonna go all the way. I'm not gonna half-ass what I'm into. Like why am I gonna, let's say, drive to somebody's house or drive to a game store, build a character, because you got to build a list, you got to build your character, you got to do all those roles, you got to think about what kind of character you want to play, you got to be internally invested in that character, because why are you going to play a character that you don't give a shit about? So there has to be something about that character that you enjoy, that you want to enjoy of, because that's part of the fun. And so if I'm getting that invested only for my investment to be mocked or made fun of or laughed at or ignored, or it become too obstructed to the other people playing, or here's the one that really gets me is I build the character that that I want to role play as, and I'm trying to make them, I have this image in my head of the kind of person I want them to be, and then when it comes to roles and like actions, they just completely fucking fail at everything. So it's like I can't role play as what I want to role play as because my roles are fucking shit. And so I end up just being like comic relief, like versus a real character or a character that I want to play. And so then, like I get that there's like this supposed to be this aspect of like, oh, well, you're there to have fun. It's not about winning. It's about having fun. It's like, yeah, but when, like I want to role play as a character and
there's stuff going on, and every time I roll like a fucking retard, and my guy can't do anything that he's supposed to be able to do. It's kind of like, well, what the fuck am I there for? No, it's not even that. No, if it was the equalizer, so how I imagine a dice being the equalizer is the dice, you win some, you lose some. So like you do something right, but then some things don't work out. But your stats and your things that you put all your points into even things out so that you're not completely and utterly useless. But for me, it was like I put all my points, and I even had the GM help me build stuff that was like moderately safe. And then when it came time for me to do stuff, it was like, damn, you just suck at rolling. It's like, okay, so what does that mean? It's like, oh, well, then just nothing happens. It would end up being not even that anything interesting happened when I failed the dice roll. It was just that nothing happened. So it's not even fun. It's not that it's not fun because I'm not getting what I want out of it, or I'm not winning or whatever. It's not fun because due to the nature of the character that I built it so safe that even if I fail at the rolls, and at the character that I'm playing as should still be able to come out on top, or like not fumble fuck, fall on his face and break his neck type thing. And so I would go for my roll of whatever, and you just missed. Okay. Oh, you failed. All right. Oh, your observation check. Oh, you failed. Okay, I didn't see it. Okay, somebody else saw it. All right. And so I'm just kind of like the boring character that doesn't do anything interesting. It's not that. And then people will say, "Well, you're the one playing safe." That's kind of what happens when you play safe. It's like, yeah, but because when I play crazy, all my shit rolls end up getting me killed before the game even starts. So based on Rimmer, and when I blew all air roll, I meant it. I don't know what Rimmer is. What's Rimmer? Please explain. What's a Rimmer? Educate me, mon capitan. It's a character from the BBC show called Red Dwarf, and he's like the worst person ever. Blames for his failures. Okay. Yeah, I never heard of that show. Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I don't have anything against British shows. I've seen some, like British comedy and British sitcom style shows. But yeah, no, I think for me it's more of I have such a huge stick up my ass when it comes to like when I have to get invested in a character or if I have to get invested in a character. So if I put too much time and energy and thought into something like that, and then pair of dice determine, I guess, everything after that, it's kind of like, next time I'll just roll random dice to determine the character I have, because there's no point in thinking or coming up with one when I can just roll a random. And they do have like character roll tables and stuff like that. But then at that point, I'll just, why even play the game? Like, why am I playing this game? I like games where I have the ability to control something, and where the dice aren't the only determining factor. I want my actions to have consequences, and I want my strategic thoughts and ideas and actions to have some reward to it. I don't want everything I think of and come up with to just be nullified by some random D20 that says, nope, can't do that. Yeah, but this is what my character's entire life, he trained for this. Oh, well, in real life, sometimes people mess up. It's like, no, not really. If that were the case, then there would be way more airliners crashing than there are. It's such a small percentage of shit that happens, and it's usually not due to pilot error. It's due to mechanical failure that has nothing to do with the pilot. It isn't the pilot's fault that the plane just dropped and crashed. It's because some mechanic fucked up and it messed up the plane or something. Like, I'm not saying that there's a such thing as perfect people, but there are people that are so highly trained that if we were to abstract rules for certain professions or certain skills and certain people's abilities or affluency, then, like, even if they get a fucking 0 on a D20 or a 1 on a D20, like, they're still going to succeed because that's just what they're good at. And I know I'm not trying to sound like I'm whiny either. Like, I know that, like, the 4 sessions that we had of Lancer RPG, the mech RPG game that my buddy ran for us, like, they were great. I had a lot of fun. I don't have any complaints. The character I played was a mercenary company leader, and he was like a former soldier dude from one of the factions, and I started right from the bottom. I didn't have any like special anything. It was just like, here's my character sheet, and we got into a couple battles, and my guy did what he does, and he did good even when I was kind of not rolling that great. I still managed to pull a couple wins and surprises, and then I had a team of other characters who were kind of like my teammates, and they helped me out. They pulled their weight, and we didn't die. So, huzzah! That's a good game. It wasn't like oh, you're a mercenary leader guy, and your rolls are as bad as a novice guy who's never piloted a mech before, you know? Well, no, I mean, like, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, yeah. It's like, yeah, he rolled bad. He thought he did everything right, and then the plane fell out of the air. Yeah, but that's not the pilot. It's the mechanic who messed that up. The pilot had nothing to do with it. So, I mean, yeah, I guess you could explain that away in like a mech RPG too. Like, oh, I rolled a 1 on my D20, so the mechanic working on my mech forgot to put the Myomer bundle on the leg just right, and it came loose, and it completely fucked my mech up, and now I'm on the floor. You know, like, yeah, but again, it's like, if I wanted comedy, I'd become a comedian, or I'd watch some comedy shows if I wanted to laugh at something being stupid. I'm not. If I'm playing a World War II RPG game, I don't think that all of a sudden, you know, Jim Carrey popping out, and it's like, cool, you know, oh, somebody stole my monkey, you know, is appropriate. I mean, and for some people, that's exactly appropriate. Like, for some people, it's like, oh, that's perfect. I totally love it. Yeah, dude, just, there's no such thing as seriousness. Everything is a joke. It's like, okay, yeah, well, then let's play it, just everything is a joke game. You know, and I'll be, I don't know, I'll be an alien from Roswell that went back in time, and now I'm in World War II. Like, if you want to be silly, we'll be silly. But, like, let me know ahead of time that this is supposed to be silly, so that I know that that's what I'm supposed to expect. Oh, dude, no, I no, in real life, like, dude, I've rolled so many zeros in real life that you'd think that whoever's rolling my dice just has really bad luck, huh? No, you know, there's no such thing as bad luck. And yeah, no, I mean, I get it. That's the thing, is I get it. I'm not sure if that's my cup of tea. I mean, hell, even in Battletech, I've rolled like complete shit many times, and you know, even though I had the right skill pilot, the right piloting score, and I spent all that BV, and I kitted out that mech, and I picked just the right mech for that job, and I positioned him in just the right spot to get the perfect roll for what he needed to hit. And, you know, like, I'm talking like long range shot with like obstruction and whatever, but because of C3 or some other mumbo jumbo, my roll was, I only needed a 5, you know, like, to hit at long range to get like 20 hits on like a perfect shot on somebody, and then I roll a 4, you know, or I roll a 1, you know what I mean? Like, that's happened, and it's frustrating when that happens, you know, but it happens. But in BattleTech, you don't just have, your one mech unless you're playing, just 1v1s. You have like a lance of units. You have like a team. So in BattleTech, you have, multiple units. And let's say your main guy fails his shot, you still have like 3 other mechs or other units that can still carry the fight. They can still do something. It isn't like you just wasted that turn on yourself to do nothing. You might still get like a lucky shot with one of your lighter mechs or one of your medium mechs or whatever. And yeah, in a way, in an RPG game, you have your party members. So maybe you fucked up that roll, but your friend gets like the boom, like the nat 20, and like, oh shit, he made it, and so now you guys succeed. So yeah, I mean, I get it. It's all dice games. I guess the other problem for me, the other constraint, I don't have this constraint anymore, but the other constraint that I had was time. Like, I just didn't have the time investment, or the time to, like, go and play campaigns at people's homes or at locations or whatever, because of deployment and duty days and, high tempo work schedules, and having to go underway and having to go overseas again, over and over again, and then needing to save up the money for the stuff that I need for that. So like, I need to get a bunch of new like packs and find some entertainment, and that's like a couple $1,000, and then save money and for emergencies, so that when I'm gone, the wife can take care of shit. So all that, and then it was, I was playing a lot of video games too, so that's where a lot of my money and time was going into. It wasn't tabletop gaming. So I got more into tabletop after I got out than before. Well, all right. I thought I might be able to finish that last one, but it's 2 hours in. My back is killing me. So, to the 2 people watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for staying for 2 hours. Really appreciate you guys being here. I hope you enjoyed watching me paint some lines. I'll get that last one done off screen here, and then next week I'll do the blues and reds, and you'll get to watch me paint red and blue lines again, or red and blue lines instead of white ones. All right. So, thanks for showing up. Appreciate your time, and have a good night.